people are starting to pay attention because there is the reality and the recognition that when you have women in the workforce, when you have women in leadership positions, you are making a difference to the bottom line. And the IMF is doing some concrete things about that. So, and Christine Lagarde had gone on to outline, well, how do you deal with this? And what she has said is you've got to engage in adopting more pro-female and pro-family policies. More affordable childcare, parental leave, allowing more flexible work arrangements. And the wonderful thing that in preparing for the Her Story series, they found that this is really the time for you guys. This is the time for women. This is the time for young women. 76% of women globally felt it has never been a better time to be born a woman. A little, as I sort of mused about the message that I'm going to bring today, I decided I'm going to make a little index card. And it really sets out the main points for what I say, can be done so that in 10 years from now, I'm not an anomaly and none of you are anomalies. First of all, be the best professional you can be. I entirely agree with Kelly this morning when she said it's 100% your responsibility. It definitely is. I didn't have the fortune of having a mentor or sponsor or champion, but you've got to do it yourself. And you've got to love your profession. You've got to want to be the best person. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, when you are going into an organization, or if you're going into a business, or if you're partnering with someone, you do your research about their reputation because it's going to be linked to your reputation. And your reputation is the most important thing to you. So first of all, do your homework. Secondly, become an expert in your field. It takes time, but it can be done. I'm here to say that, and I think that's why Heather had me come in. It's sort of like, this is the trajectory. So you've got the formal education route to take. Do that, but learn on the job. Learn at from seniors in your departments, in your fields, in your areas. Whatever you can do. Take everything that you can to learn everything about your chosen profession. And more particularly, because in professions you specialize. You actually get, as you get older, you get more and more specialized in a certain niche. You become the expert in that. And let me tell you, you do that, and people are going to be tapping on your shoulder to be your sponsor. Put in the time and effort. Your work product and the work ethic are your hallmarks, and there can be no substitute for that. And I can tell you, certainly that is going to require you to do some things sometimes that is going to take away from other aspects of your life. But it absolutely is worth doing. What you do is teamwork, no matter how you turn it. Whether it's you're a junior on a team, whether it's you have support staff, whatever it is, you're not going to do it alone. And you have to value and recognize what other people bring to the table. Now, in terms of the time and effort that you have to put in, life isn't perfect. You're one person. I'm a mother, I'm a lawyer, and sometimes those worlds collide. Like it's not, and that's why I did the weave on the front, because when I go into the office, I don't stop being a mother. When I come home, I don't stop being a lawyer. And sometimes life happens and you can forget your daughter's 15th birthday, for example. So, yeah. And of course, the third child. It's interesting when you have 4, both number 2 and 3 are the middle children. So anyways, I was working on an appeal factum. I actually stayed home so I could work because there would be too many distractions at work. And I spread out over my dining room table, and I was busily, so I'd get up at 5 in the morning, and I'd be working away, and my daughter, Talana, came down, and she was headed towards me with her bowl of cereal, and I'm like, no, I'm going upstairs, don't bother. And then, so we all, about half an hour later, were gathering in the hallway, and her older sister, my second daughter, is coming down, and I said, oh, can you drive Talana to school? I'm really busy, I can't do that now. And so she looks at Talana and says, happy birthday, Talana. Okay, right? Yes, dear, big hug. Well, all I did was give her something to rant about for the rest of her life, right? Oh my gosh, what kind of mother forgets her child's birthday? Well, I didn't forget her birthday. I gave birth. I knew when she was born. You know, I just forgot that it happened to be June 14th on that day. So, but anyways, but you know what? That's okay. My message here is that's okay, because this is the same kid. Her sisters tell her, she's 19 now, when are you going to cut the umbilical cord, right? So, you know, it's okay to have these things happen from time to time. You know, it's your general relationship with your children. But, you know, don't feel badly if sometimes work has to step in. The point that I make is be ready to grasp opportunities. And a good friend of mine often used the phrase, "Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not get bent out of shape." So, to me, that means you must be in a position to recognize when an opportunity presents itself. It may be a chance to work with a senior person, a senior specialist on a file, or with a very special client. And you know, what you're doing may seem pretty mundane, but you know what? Grasp the opportunity, because everything is a learning opportunity. I remember my very first trial that I did I was junioring a senior lawyer. So it was his trial. He did everything. He prepared the witnesses, etc. Lo and behold, mid-trial, like after the second day of trial, he says to me, "I have to leave. I have to go to Jamaica." And he had to. He had very good reason to go. Finish the trial. Okay. So, but because I was so prepared, it was his trial. I was junioring him, but I was so vested in that file and in that client. I was able to pick up where he left off, finish that trial, and happily we won. So, you know, those are the things I'm talking about. When you see that opportunity, you make the most of it. Even though it might seem like you're not going to be called upon, it might be the most mundane thing. You've got to pave the way once you get there. Be available to share your knowledge and experience. There's a bit of a running joke. One of our juniors in the office a few years ago would say, put a little number sign outside Jacy's office, you know, just everybody take a number. But you know what, you got to spend the time to do that. You got to spend the time when people come to ask you questions, share your knowledge, share your experience. And you've got to really be the one to champion others. Sometimes I think of it, and they talk about the glass ceiling, and when you hear about FIRST, I think of it as, well, maybe there are a lot of glass doors, and there are some women who get through, and do they close the door? Do they leave it open? You know, we actually want sliding doors, right? You know, you want, because that's what we want to get at. We want to get at that critical mass. We want to break that 20% of the senior corporate positions. Justin Trudeau did it with the 50% in the cabinet, but you know, we're not all prime ministers who could just, with the wave of a wand, go in there and say, okay, we're going to bring on, you know, another 30%. I was the only female partner at our table for 5 years. You know, happily now we have another female partner. But yeah, we are probably less than the 20%. You know, and it's definitely something that I think at the end of the day, the discourse needs to shift now from, you know, you can do it, you can get the job, you can get the education, to actually, you can stay the course in this profession and you can rise. That's where we have to get to. One of the things that Christine Lagarde had said in terms of women, bringing up women, it's world-altering potential of women helping women.